Yo! Video games.
What up, dudes? It's Matt here from YoVideogames, and I hope you're all having a very Merry Christmahana Kwanzaa. Now, I know you probably feel Max has probably talked Street Fighter V to death already, but I thought it's been a little bit of time since it's been announced, and I figured I'd throw my 2 cents in. But rather than tell you about what I think's in the game, what I want the gameplay system to be like, or any of that other important stuff, I figured I'd just share my top 5 for Street Fighter V, the characters that I want to see in the game. Will this have anything to do with the actual quality of the title when it's released? Nope! But it sure is fun to speculate and wish for. Now, before I get into the top 5, I want to honorably mention something that isn't quite a character specific, but rather a general idea. And that is, I want Street Fighter V to have a really badass, cool-looking, iconic villain. Sagat was a beast, and nobody will ever forget M. Bison in his crazy, awesome, neo-Nazi-looking uniform. But it seems Capcom's ideas for good end bosses died after Super Street Fighter 2, because 3 and 4, well, while some may like them, I'm kinda sick of looking at characters that feel like I went to body paint night at Chippendales. I just want to relive the glory days of making it to someone like Bison and having to take his ass down. Now with that out of the way, let's move on to the top 5 for Street Fighter V. Number 5, Grown-Up Sakura. Now this choice is probably my biggest cheat on the list, as it's an established Street Fighter character, one who's probably going to be in the game, but it's still something I would really like to see, and more importantly, grown up. There seems to be an unwritten rule with Capcom girls in that they're never allowed to age a single fucking day. However, I think in the case of Sakura, that would actually be something pretty cool. She's already a pretty awesome character with her spunky go-get-'em attitude, and it'd be nice to see her evolve past the school uniform. Even though in my mind, I think it's kind of funny to rationalize it as a lot like Ryu, where she's just wearing her high school uniform years after graduating. She's just too damn lazy to buy a new set of clothes, just like Ryu. Still, I wouldn't mind seeing a more evolved grown-up look to go along with maybe a newer, more evolved grown-up moveset. It'd be pretty cool, and if you've played Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, then you know that she does have a future with Ryu in the ending. Hell, she could go from hot schoolgirl to hot MILF. MILF Sakura. Number 4, someone from rival schools. Now, if there's one fighting game franchise that has sorely gone overlooked by Capcom, that would be the Rival Schools series. And it's hard to understand why. I mean, you got so many cool characters to choose from. You've got the hot-headed Batsu, the terrific Tits Tiffany, sports aficionado Shoma, and the totally hot and bangable Kyoko. But if I had to choose just one character from Rival Schools, I would choose Kyosuke. He's already been in other Capcom fighters such as CVS2, and I think that game showed that he could do a pretty cool job in the 2D fighting game plane. There seems to be a lot of good potential for a more zoner and keep away and anti-air game with Kyosuke, and there's something I'd like to see come back. You could even throw in his Ultra from CVS2, which includes Batsu and Hinata. That would be pretty dope. Either way, it's a franchise that is sorely overlooked, one that could definitely use some more representation, and one I would love to see make a return in Street Fighter V. Number 3. Mike Hagar. Now, I know we already got a lot of Final Fight, and I know he also is a grappler like Zangief, but come on, I think MVC3 showed us that he can be more than just a grappler who grabs you and pile drives you into the ground like you're an angry shark. Mike Hagar is just a complete badass all around, dating all the way back to Saturday Night Slam Masters. And of course, he has more than just grapples. I mean, look at those drop kicks and that freaking pipe! Mike Hagar is a guy that I think would complement Zangief rather than just be a clone of him. And I think I speak for everyone in America when saying the stash should return with Mike Hagar. Number 2 is Maki, another Final Fight character that really only showed up in one other Capcom fighter. Maki's just a cool badass babe who fights with Tonfuzz and has no problem flipping you off when she wins. What makes me really want someone like Maki in the game is Maki has a very unique fighting style. It's not quite rushdown, but at the same time it also is. She's a very unique character and plays unlike really anyone else. She would bring a lot of variety. It's one I think they should seriously look into. You don't always have to have the standard 12, and God knows we don't need any more Shoto clones. Maki's someone who's completely fresh and original, and I think would be a great addition to Street Fighter V. And my number 1 pick for who should be in Street Fighter V goes to Eagle. Yes, Eagle, the totally badass fighter from Street Fighter 1 that looks like an alt color for Freddie Mercury. Eagle's a character that is just a lot of fun to play, even if he is a bit unconventional. His moveset consists of knocking your fireballs back as well as setting up counter moves. He's a lot of fun to play, and if anyone who's ever dabbled in Gouken can attest, it's kind of fun to set your opponent up and play the mind games that Eagle would bring to the game. He's badass, he looks cool, he has a unique moveset, and he brings a much different play style to the fighters. It's why Eagle is my number 1 pick for Street Fighter V characters. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you later on the channel. Later, dudes!